Hey, so I recorded this episode with Riverside, the software I've been partnering with that allows me to do remote podcasting, and everything was fantastic during recording, except for the fact that my mic, I forgot to set the gain levels properly. And even Iyanna noticed while we were recording. So if I sound a little more robotic and a little more not so clear, it's my fault, not the software. I want to be completely candid about that. It is a user error type deal. Yeah. I'm excited to show you guys this episode because Iyanna's a guest that I've been wanting to have for a while now. And I wanted to hear about her experience being on a production of a reality TV show for Netflix, specifically one that's like a flagship, Love is Blind. So let's get into it.
I can officially start the podcast. This is my degree, and that was the most gentle fall it's actually ever done. It got stuck on the sound foam, and then it got stuck on the plant. This isn't my degree. Welcome to the show where I give you a backstage pass into the life of a full-time freelancer and content creator, and sometimes I get to hang out with people like... This is the part where you say your name.
Oh, Iyanna. You gotta warn me. I'm too awkward for this. You gotta warn me beforehand.
What are you talking about?
Me, Iyanna McNeely. Ooh. Pew, pew, pew.
For those people that don't know who you are, who are you?
How do I answer that? My name is Iyanna. Iyanna.amore on Instagram, TikTok, really everything. So look your girl up. I was on Love is Blind season 2. Don't look that up though, because that's embarrassing.
Is it?
It's yes.
Okay, I have some questions about it though, and not like your typical. Oh, how was everything? How did it go? No, I have the real questions.
Did they force alcohol down your throat? Because that's all I get asked now. But sorry.
Really?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay, well now I'm curious. Okay, before you even got to that stage of life, what were you doing before Love is Blind?
Before Love is Blind, what was I? Oh, I was working at a surrogacy agency. Most of my professional career, I've been working in some form of social services usually. So I have a bachelor's in psychology. I worked at residential centers with at-risk youth. I did some in-home therapy. I did some social work. And then I wanted to move to Chicago randomly. And you have to have a lot of credentials to do social service here. And I didn't have the time for that. So I ended up at a surrogacy agency, which was really fun. It's a cool niche.
What sparked your interest on like being on Love is Blind? And like, were you set on that? Or were you just like, I want to go on a reality TV show? Walk me through that.
No. So the whole thing with Love is Blind really started with, at least the beginning of me feeling comfortable to go on the show, started off with Married at First Sight. when Married at First Sight came out, I would watch that all the time. And I find dating exhausting. And I was like, it'd be cool if I could just find my husband that way. What a cool love story to tell our kids. They can watch our love story on TV. The whole TV aspect, though, did not appeal to me whatsoever. But when Love is Blind came out, I was like, okay, this might be more of my fit because, like, at least I might have the appearance of a choice to choose. That's a joke. But so I was like, okay, I'll just apply because I happen to be in Chicago and they're only doing Chicago. So, let's just hope for the best. I doubt they'll call me. But a week later they called and I said, I was kidding. Joking.
Yeah.
And then then I happened to be a part of the final cast, and I was like, well, I just want a husband because I was stupid, so I got one.
It happens. Sometimes you just stumble onto a Netflix show.
I was only 26 at the time when I applied, so I also have to give myself some grace. Like, Iyanna, you were very naive and just like head in the clouds, like, but the love story.
It's crazy how like the 20s goes because like. It's whenever you start feeling like I know some stuff, but then like there's still so much to learn. And it's like a lot of like stumbling and like just trying to navigate through a lot of stuff. Because like,
you want to know what I realized though? I don't think that's just the 20s. I think The older that
Yeah.
I get, I think everyone's kind of just stumbling, figuring things out as they go.
Yeah, everybody's kind of lying if they say they got it all figured out.
And they are. And they are. Unless they're really rich, then that's at least like a big thing that they don't have to worry about. Because I feel like that's a lot of millennials, especially, their worries is like paying for things. It's like, I want to go travel and have a life, but also bills.
But also, like, I want to just exist and be able to,
Yeah.
like, do the most basic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we were lied to. They were like, oh, you can go get a house and go get the 2.5 kids and a dog with the white picket fence. This is just the dream we
That's
were
just
told.
not the American dream anymore. I don't think it's
No.
realistic.
But
It's just not.
before we get too into that conversation, because that could be a whole
Right, 'cause-
episode in itself, I have questions about Love is Blind specifically. Then we'll move more into the after and social media and like I want to know a lot of
perfect.
stuff. Were you completely cut off from the outside world during that time?
For the first half of it, yes.
So like
For
no
like 3 weeks
phone,
straight.
no internet, no
And that
nothing.
was the part that gave me the most anxiety. I had no phone, I had no internet, I couldn't watch anything because we didn't have like internet access.
Uh-huh.
Your entire existence for those first 3 weeks is just dating people. And I like to kind of, talk to my friends about things, talk to my parents, not really my parents about my relationships, but I talk to my friends about things and like kind of get their input on like, is that yellow flaggish? Is that red flaggish? Like, am I tripping? Am I crazy? So
Yeah,
for me to
for
have
sure.
to go through that process completely alone with just like my ADHD brain that's like all over the place, that loves to overthink, yeah, that was the most anxiety I've ever experienced in my entire life. I think on 2 of those days, I woke up and immediately like ran to the bathroom to throw up because I was just so
Oh,
anxious. Yeah, it was bad.
did you guys get to like at least go outside and stuff? Like, did you see birds and everything? The
I
sky?
would go outside when they were transporting us. This sounds like prison. I would go
Hey, wait a
outside.
minute. What? Y'all didn't have like a park or something?
No, a park. No, what is this like a no? Okay, so I picture this. We were all in a
Okay.
hotel. This was during COVID, so I think in some ways we were blessed to that extent because we all got our own hotel rooms because they didn't want us chatting and like talking too much without us being on camera because they don't film you 24/7. Got our own hotel rooms. The only time we were able or allowed to leave because we didn't have the hotel room keys. The only time we were able to leave is asking for permission and when we're going to the pods, which is in a big warehouse. It's like a setup. It's like a full setup, a production. And that's the only time that we were outside is when we walk outside to the van, walk from the van to the production set, or when we went to the bathroom, but we always had someone with us so that we didn't cross paths with the boys. I was gonna say men, but yeah, the boys.
I just can't get past the fact that like y'all didn't just get to like go see the sky,
No,
the
why would we be
sunshine,
able to do that? No,
nature. That's
no.
wild. Okay.
If we're having a mental
Wow.
breakdown, oh, that was gold for them. Where's the camera? Where's the camera? Zoom in.
So you said that the cameras weren't rolling the whole time. So like, what did a typical production day look like?
Oh God. Okay, so usually we would be downstairs by like, I can't remember how early, but I know it's like 7 a.m., 7:30. And then we would go to the production site. We'd get like a slight breakfast. The boys got real breakfast, but we had like boiled eggs, which was so random. We would eat
Boiled eggs?
it was terrible. They did a run of show, just like, hey, these are the topics that we suggest that you talk about today, but you don't have to. And then we would get a schedule on what pod to go in for our specific dates. Sometimes we'd just be sitting in the lounge waiting for our next day, but people will be coming in and out, and we're there literally all day until about 2 a.m. in the morning, go back to the hotel, get some sleep, wake up a few hours later to be ready on call for like 7 a.m. again, and do it all over again for like 10 days straight.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the stuff that people like don't factor in with like all these productions is like all this stuff happens so quick. Like that's less than
really
2
does.
weeks.
That is less than 2 weeks, which is
That's wild.
nuts.
Was it boring when the cameras weren't rolling?
Um, no, actually, no, it was never
Really?
boring. I think the entire thing was just like probably by far the coolest experience I've ever had because like who can say that they've done something like that? So it definitely wasn't boring because in between, like if I wasn't talking to, actually, I didn't really talk to the girls in the pods because I didn't know them and I'm very introverted. But I would talk to like production sometimes, like try to make friends with production or you're just kind of chilling. I read like a book and a half while I was in there. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't that. Or you take a nap. People would love to take naps. I take naps all the time. I take naps on
Naps are
some of my
so good.
dates. I'd be like, you not feeling me, I'm not feeling you. You want to take a nap together? And you're like, yeah. We sleep for the next couple of hours until the next date.
That's
Great.
so interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And I mean, a good use of your time too, because
right.
I mean, I swear
You
by
gotta
a good
rest
nap.
up.
Like it's like a reset.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially if you're only getting like 4 hours of sleep. It sounded
Literally.
like based on that schedule.
Literally.
That's
And
crazy.
I think by day 4 I realized like we're all sleep deprived because people were coming in and just crying, and even I started to get emotional. I was like, why the hell am I crying right now? I'm crying so much, and it's like I'm sleep deprived. That's what it is. Yeah.
What's the biggest misconception people have about the show?
Oh, what is the biggest misconception? I think biggest misconception is that that they do film so often, which they don't. And so I think, I lied. I lied. Biggest misconception is that we know everything that is filmed and that is shown. So, for example, you didn't watch my season, right?
I haven't yet.
No. Okay. So, for example,
do I need to?
Don't watch it. Don't watch it.
I won't watch it.
For example, after I was already married with the person that I chose, when the show aired, I hadn't seen it, just like, the audience hadn't seen it yet. But when it was released, I was watching it as everyone else was watching it. There was a conversation that my then husband had with one of his previous matches where after he had already chosen me, he's telling her things like, that's not the ring you wanted. I would have got you that ring. I would have did this for you. I would have been after he had already proposed to me. People
Oh, wow.
were shredding me. Like, Iyanna, you're so naive. You're so dumb. He had this conversation, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I didn't know about this conversation until after 10 months after, when I'm watching it like you guys are. Granted, I knew he had interest in this girl, but also when you're dating 15 other people, you have to expect not everyone's going to choose their first choice. Even I had a second choice. Mine just didn't get filmed. Nonetheless, that's the biggest misconception, is that we know everything that is being filmed and we know everything that's going on. But a lot of times we don't get to see it until everyone else sees it.
That's so tragic that like y'all are watching it for the first time with the world population.
Yeah, I thought they would give us like, let us watch it beforehand, but to some extent I understand why they don't do that, because then we would really have a lot of time to prep as far as like how we're going to react, and I don't think they want that, which I mean, because it makes for juicy television to kind of get everything like, when heat of the moment.
Keeps that like element of surprise and like catching you off guard. Like it always it makes for the better TV, better production.
I mean, people love the drama. As much as they say, oh, this show is messy now, it's all about drama, they eat it up.
Yeah, I'll be honest, my first time seeing the show was this most recent season.
Ooh,
and I was, because I hadn't whoa. That's all I gotta say. Whoa. And then I found out, I can't remember who it was, but I actually went to Charlotte for a music festival like beginning of May. And it turns out that I was probably like CDC guidelines away from somebody that was on the show and didn't even realize it. Yeah, because I was like looking at the music festival's Instagram and I'm like, oh, cool. And then I'm like, wait. And I was like, I was right. Oh my God, I got scared.
Wait, did you know who it was?
I think it was Chelsea.
Oh, okay, Chelsea, yeah.
I think it was Chelsea.
Probably.
But I could be wrong on that. I'd have to look back.
No, you're probably right.
Well, that story's gone now, so I don't know.
Yeah. I will say, if you're in
But
Charlotte, you'll probably run into one of them. I know I ran into AD before her show even came out. Well, before her show came out, I think
really,
like 6 months before her show was released. She walked up to me and was like, "Hey, I'm on the latest season." I was like, "Huh?" I was like, "Did you
oh,
get married?" She was like, "No, not quite." But she told me everything that happened. Granted, I was like blackout drunk, so I don't remember most of the conversation. But like, nonetheless,
wait,
like I met her before. I met her
was this in
before.
Charlotte?
Yeah, this is in Charlotte. I was just at like a bar.
Everybody can go see the season, all that stuff, how it transpired. But I want to know what life is like after the show and like what you're up to now. Whenever you first picked up that phone, how many notifications did you have?
Oh, you mean when the show came out?
Like as soon as you got it back.
Oh, as soon as um, not a lot. I mean, so so
What?
the thing is, I before the show, I didn't use my phone very often. I didn't really have too many friends. I mean, I don't have too many friends now, and that's kind of how I like it. I kind of keep my circle small. But like
That's fair.
everyone knew, all the people closest to me knew that I was going on the show. So I told them, if you didn't hear back from me within 10 days, it means that I got engaged and that I'm on my honeymoon, but I'll be back in a week. Um, and so when they didn't hear from me, they knew like, oh, this girl is in Mexico somewhere with some man that we don't know. So when I came back, the first call that I made was actually to my mom. Um, that was not a good conversation. But that was the first conversation I had, was to my mom. And I was like, "Hi,
Yeah.
I'm engaged." And she said, "What? What do you mean you're engaged?" I said, I'm engaged. You want to meet up?" And she's like, "Sure."
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Here, look, here." And she's like, "Oh, hi."
So are you still friends with people from the show?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Well, yes, absolutely. You know, the funnier part is like, I was just talking because I just had lunch with my best friend who is from the show today,
Okay.
and we were talking about the fact that like we genuinely believed not only that we knew our fiancés and like the guys, but that we knew each other really well. And even
Uh,
3 years down the line, which it's been 3 years now, we're still learning things about our other castmates, and all of them are
oh.
completely different than what we initially thought of each other, because you know, you're on a show, you're probably putting your best foot forward, or you're like being more
Uh-huh.
extra than you typically would. Maybe you want more screen time, blah blah blah, I don't know. Whatever
Yeah.
anyone's intention is, like they're probably not 100% themselves. But yeah, I didn't know them folks in the beginning, but I know them now. Nat is still my best friend. Love that girl to death. She'll be my forever best friend. She can't
That's
get rid of me
beautiful.
now. And then I'm pretty cordial with everyone else. I wouldn't say that we're best friends, but like we're all pretty cordial. So yeah.
That's good that like friendships came out of it. And like even though some things didn't quite work out, like you still came out with a bunch of friends.
Yeah. That, I think that was what I was supposed to be on the show for. I think in the end, me and Nat were supposed to
Uh-huh.
find each other. That was the real love story. Everything
That
else
was
is
actually the whole plan the
that
entire
was the
time.
whole
Like it
plan.
was like
Yeah.
nobody was trying to find love. It was just so that you two could be
Mm-mm.
friends.
Yeah. I agree.
Whenever you got back and you started to like return into quote normal life,
Mm-hmm.
did you get people coming up to you like, "Oh my God, I know who you are," and like, "I saw you"?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
That was a lot for me. I think social media, I think, was even more for me to adjust to. I
Yeah.
think it took me maybe a year and a half for me to completely adjust to social media, because before the show I had maybe 500 followers, and then after the show had aired, by the end of all the episodes, I had quite a bit. I can't remember how many, but I had
Uh,
quite a bit. um and that was overwhelming because the notifications were constant, and I had to like shift some stuff, and I was checking my phone more
uh,
often. I don't like using my phone that much. But then also the aspect of like being in public and people kind of coming up to you, and not everyone really sees people who are on TV as like normal people, I guess. So they kind of treat
yeah,
you
yeah.
like a museum. Not all people. It's not as bad now, but like They do kind of treat you
Never heard it
like, I
put
mean,
that way.
yeah, but well, it's how do I? Okay, example. Me
Okay.
and my ex-husband were out with two of our friends who were not on the
Ugh.
show, and we're around drunk people who are the absolute worst when it comes to being recognized by, because they have no understanding of boundaries. And I'm
Ugh.
standing here and I'm in my extreme introvert phase. This is before I had started to adjust, and I'm
Mhm.
just talking to a fan, and she's like, oh my god, and she's like, I just love your hair, and she's just like touching me, and I'm like and
Oh.
then in the
Oh.
corner of my eye I see a woman, probably about 2 feet away from me, slowly reaching out her hand like this to just try to graze my arm. I was like, what the?
She's tried to pet you?
She was trying to pet me. What the fuck is happening? Get me out of here.
Wait. So you got
It's the
somebody
most
like
bizarre
feeling
thing.
your
Some
hair,
people
and then
are
you got
weird.
somebody like,
Basically, it was like a it was like a it was like a
it's like
rub,
a
pat your
petting
head,
zoo?
rub your stomach thing, except that they weren't my hands. Like, yeah, it
It
was
was just other
bizarre.
people.
It was other
What?
people. It was really bizarre. But for the most part, people are pretty respectful. They're just like, "Hi, like I know you don't like this, but I just want to say I loved you on the show." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And as the time went by, like it started to slow down more and more and more. I don't leave my
Uh,
house as much now, but I think maybe out of 10 times of me leaving my house, it only happens maybe once, maybe twice. So, not as
okay.
bad
I mean, that's
now.
still a pretty good amount of times.
Maybe. It doesn't feel like that much anymore. Which I mean,
But
I like the amount now.
it's like
But yeah.
chill. It's like zen a
Yeah.
little more.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
people are a lot more chill about it now too. Cuz even they really
Uh,
just like say something real quick and then like walk off. Cuz I was just at lunch 2 days ago and someone's walking by, beautiful black girl walking by, and I hear, "Oh my god." And I go, "What the fuck?" She goes, "I know who you are." I go, "Oh, hi." And she's like, "I loved you on the show." And I said, "Oh, thank you. Love you too." And she go, "Yeah." And then she just kept walking.
we love the
Yeah.
energy.
Love the energy. I
So
love the energy.
you mentioned the social media like blowing up,
Mm,
and you had 500 followers. Then all of a sudden you had hundreds of thousands.
yeah.
What was that like? Because I'm sure you received like all different types of messages, comments. What was it like getting that flood of just like, whoa, there's a lot of people talking kind of at me right now?
Yeah. It's not only talking at you, but talking about you to you. It was very
Yeah.
uncomfortable. I think especially because they're talking about something so sensitive as my marriage, which at the
Uh,
time behind the scenes I was really struggling with already. It was very uncomfortable. I did not like that aspect at all. It made me very self-conscious. For the most part, I've always lived my life kind of being like, I don't care what anybody has to say, like, whatever, I'm gonna just do whatever I want. And then all of a
uh,
sudden I realized like I couldn't really do that anymore without getting so much flack about it. And
yeah.
it's very uncomfortable. You feel like a fish in a fishbowl, in a very, very tiny fishbowl. I didn't like it, especially because these people didn't know who I was, and they're assigning character traits to me, like she's stupid, she's weak, she's it's just like too
What?
much. Yeah, I got called weak so much. It was just way too much. Yeah, I didn't like that at all. And I think that's why my relationship with social media took so long for it to even get to a point of being okay. Even though it was my job, for some
Uh,
point, it took a really long time for me to stop feeling so shameful about it.
did you have kind of a, I guess, bad relationship with social media once you kind of hopped back on it and then saw all of those comments and DMs and like all these posts that were about you?
Yes, absolutely. I think even before though, my relationship with social media, I mean, it was kind of non-existent. I liked sharing things for the most
Hey.
part, but oh wow, that just brought up a memory. But I had an ex-boyfriend who was very anti-social media, and he would call me shallow because I simply like wanted to post a picture of us or something. And so I think because that happened so early on in my 20s, it kind of shaped how I saw social media, and then I just became very anti. And so by the time
Gotcha.
that like the show comes out and I find myself kind of being thrown into it, I did not like it at all. And again, it took me at least a year and a half for me to finally be like, all right, like it's not that bad. There's some good aspects of
Really?
it, but that's only because I had to steer it toward that direction with really my podcast. I think is what really improved my view on social media and in the positive ways that it can be used.
Let's talk about the podcast. What sparked your interest in starting that? And tell the people also, like, the name, tell people that are unfamiliar, like, what your podcast is, what it's about.
Okay, well, my podcast was named Fill in the Blank, FEEL, Fill in the Blank. We were running for a good year plus. We made it to about a year and a half, and then we quit. Because it was a lot. But this literally just happened a few months ago, so it's fairly new that I'm not doing it anymore, and I've been having some form of a identity crisis. But it's
Not
really
the identity
just
crisis.
yeah, it's because it'll send you, especially because our podcast was doing so well. We got up to about 40K on Instagram, and I never realized just how hard it was to grow in the podcast era or in the area of that. Because I mean, it's pretty difficult. And no one really warned me about that. And I think we got a good head start because people knew who I was, but also we just showed a lot of vulnerable moments. So our podcast was about really just talking about life in general, talking about relationships, being two young women in their 20s, kind of just figuring life out. As we always say, we're not experts on life, but we are students of life. So we just, we like to talk about really deep conversations anyway. So we thought, well, why not just, talk about it with each other and have other people join in on the conversation. So that was really the gist of the podcast. And yeah, and we were able to build our little community, people who are very like-minded, and that was cool. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that podcast. It was a lot of work though. That was exhausting, but it was fun.
Podcasts are a lot of work. Thank you for noticing that, by the way. I feel seen now. Because yeah, podcasts are a lot. Like I get so many questions because like I do like video production full time. Mm-hmm. So people will always approach me saying like, oh, I want to start a podcast. I see like what you're doing. I want to do that too. And I'm just like, do you realize how much goes into that? And like, it's not just lights, camera, action, microphones, all this stuff. It's not just like you just sit in front of a microphone and people are going to listen. Like you have to have a message. You have to have a reason for doing things. And you have to have a plan. Like who's your audience? How are you going to provide them with something? Like it's not just, oh, put me in front of a microphone and people will listen to me talk.
I wish it were that simple, but I think it took us about
so easy.
Yeah, I think it took us about 2 months in where we realized like, wow, we have to come up with new topics every week. That's crazy. Like, how do we not run out of things to talk about? It's nuts. Yeah.
It's a lot, especially like, because I'm so bad at scheduling things. Like, I've tried to schedule this with you how many times now? And it's been months.
It's been,
I mean, it's been since the whole dairy boot camp, which amazing time. That was great.
Do you know, every time someone asks me, what was your favorite brand deal that you've ever had? And I'm like, honestly, I did this dairy boot camp and it was by far the most fun experience I've ever had.
It was so fun. Seriously, like whenever they hit me up about it, I was like, this is so different than anything I've ever been like presented. Like most of the time it's like, hey, come to our restaurant. Hey, come do this. Hey, do you want to be a dairy farmer? I'm like, yeah.
Sign me up.
I was like, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
And then we showed up.
That was by far the most fun experience.
For people listening, I'll provide context. We were dairy farmers for what, 2 days?
Yeah, I guess it
3
was
days?
2 to 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a couple days where like we flew in super early, immediately went to a farm like 2 hours outside Minneapolis, and then just became dairy farmers. We milked cows. We churned butter. Yeah. We learned about food. We jumped in food.
I was finding
we made a really
cotton seed
shitty
in my
smoothie.
Clothes for like a good 2 weeks after.
Same.
I was like, where's all this?
I was like, oh, there's another piece. Oh,
I was
there's
telling
another
people
one.
dairy facts that, the average person shouldn't know. Like,
We had dinner in their house, and they
we
were
had
so
dinner.
nice to us. Like, and it was good dinner
That was some
too.
good dinner. We
That
made
was some
some
good
good butter,
food.
man.
Yo, that butter was crazy. The butter was crazy. Okay,
The butter
I
was
remember
crazy.
adding that like Chipotle. Was
Oh
it
yeah,
Chipotle?
you
It was
did
like
your thing. It
hot
was like a
sauce
honey
with
chipotle.
honey.
Yeah, you did your thing. You put your foot in that.
But we, like I said, we did not do well with the smoothie. That was. I watched that video back, and I was like, you know what? What were we really thinking with those ingredients?
I just think okay.
What were we
Okay, I
thinking?
think we actually weren't that bad. I think we were the healthier choice and they were more so focused on like taste. But I thought
But like,
health was really the point of this, okay? And it didn't taste bad. It just wasn't as fruity.
I mean, it didn't taste bad, but like, it didn't taste good.
I thought it was fine.
It was green, and
it was very green. That was a very green.
it was very green. It was very green,
smoothie.
and it was very healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because see, we're sitting here talking about it. We have the most memorable smoothie.
Dang, I should have worn my sweatshirt, my dairy sweatshirt.
Is it not hot in Chicago right now?
I'm in the house though.
Okay, that's a good point. But I'm like, it is like 93 here
It
in
is
St.
hot.
Louis
It's
today.
very hot out here. It's like 70 some degrees, maybe 80s.
I'm sorry, did you say it's hot out here? It's 70 something?
Yeah. Is that not hot?
That's like the perfect weather.
Okay. I think 60s is the perfect weather.
Why do I feel judgment right now?
That's just me. You feel judgment? You just judged me. You just judged me.
I asked a question. That's what that was.
Wow, Dante, is this how you treat people who come on your podcast? Oh my God.
I'm just trying to find out more information about why 70 degrees is warm. That's all.
All right.
It's a perspective different than mine, so I'm trying to understand. See?
I see what you did there.
I definitely just made that up. I was judging. I'll admit it.
Oh. Damn.
Have you returned to the 9-to-5 life, or are you still creating full time?
Okay, so technically right now I'm still full-time creator, but I am starting a new job in the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Big moves.
I never thought I'd be excited for this, but I am because I'm bored.
Are you just like, are you done with this creative life?
I hate it.
Oh.
I hate it.
Oof.
I hate it. It's because
Why?
like it's so intertwined with like life in general. I like the separation of like leaving work and being done.
Okay, that is very valid. Mm-hmm. Especially because like you being a public figure, you are the brand. So like you as a person, yeah, I get that.
I hate it. I hate it so much. But quite honestly, I think when I quit my job last year, because it's only been a year of me being full-time, even when the show came out, I still worked full-time for a full year and a half after, and did influencing. But when I quit my job, I realized like I'm making enough money influencing in order to pay my bills, and that's all I needed. And so really when I quit, I just wanted to not work, and that's what influencing is for me, because I don't do it for real. Like I'm not the best influencer because I don't put out content as often as I should. I don't sit down and write a whole schedule like I'm supposed to. I just do the bare minimum, okay? And that's probably why my engagement is so low. But that's okay.
What are you talking about? Is it low?
Care. What? It's low. It's low.
Is it?
It's low on the things that matter, like my stories, because that's where like brands are really paying. They don't pay for like reels as much anymore. They don't pay for posts as much. They pay for the stories. And my story engagement is so bad. Like it's so bad for me to have this many followers and like.
What is so bad?
Okay, right, because this is always relative depending on the person. So I'm have like, now.
What is so bad?
I have about 860 something K followers, right? On a
Yeah.
good day, my stories get about 15K views, um, which to me is insane for me to have 860 something thousand followers. I don't even think that's a third of the. That's not even like
Hold up. There's got to be a calculator for this. There's got to be.
1.7%. Okay, the only reason why I said it's 1.7, this is what
Excuse me?
I think this is the correct math. I did 15 divided by 860. I don't know if that's right. It sounded right in my head. And then I multiplied that by 100 for the percentage, which is 1.7. Is that right?
You just asked me like I knew,
Oh.
which I thank you for having that kind of faith in me to do a math equation, but I can't give you a confident answer.
So theoretically, possibly, I don't know. It might only be 1.7% of my following. And I'm saying 15K on a good day. Most of the time, it's about like 10. What I realized though is like being a reality star and like all of a sudden turning into an influencer, people don't want to buy it from you. Like that's not why they're following you. They want to follow you for drama, or they want to follow you to see your relationship, or they want to follow you to see anything related to why they followed you, which is for us whatever show we were on. So for you to all of a sudden start selling things, they're like, girl, shut up.
They're like, I don't want to click the link.
Yeah.
I don't need to click the link in the bio, or I don't need to go to your Amazon storefront.
Like, girl, you can't dress like I can't dress. Like, that's pretty much what.
I'm dead.
Yeah, but it's okay.
So you're done with the influencer life, like as a whole, or are you just like, I'm gonna take a step back?
I think I'm really just taking a step back, a slight step back. So also, this kind of all happened within the last couple of months, where my podcast ended, and my management, I no longer have management because my contract ended, and I told them I didn't want to continue because I thought I was going to quit for real. So now
you had
technically
a
I have
management for that?
For brand deals and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, you think I'm going to respond to emails? I'm not responding to emails. Also, I don't know anything about what my rate is supposed to be and like all that stuff. So I'm like, why don't we just give that to like professionals? Because I don't know.
I guess it's nice to have somebody to do that for you.
I can't. You do that all by yourself?
Hey, listen, it's rough out here, okay?
Is that what normal people do? Is that what normal influencers
I don't think
do?
normal people, I don't know.
Wow, Dante, you do it all, huh? Dante, do it all.
I try. Shoot,
That should
is that
just
my
be your new
tagline
name.
now?
Dante, do it all. Do it all, Dante.
Dante, do it all.
I like that. Do it all, Dante.
With the do it all, Dante. There we go.
I like it. Sorry. I like that.
I do want to touch on the topic of divorce.
Oh.
Because, and the reason why is because this is something that a lot of people don't know about me. I haven't been through a divorce, but I have broken off an engagement before.
Oh.
So, you know, it's like, it's a big step to like say, yeah, no, I actually don't want to do this. This isn't working. And I made a video talking about my experience because it's something that I feel like not a lot of people talk about, like the real stuff.
Yeah.
And like, these are real events. So I made a video, and I still get comments like to this day that are people like, what do I do now? Like, or, oh, your video, like talking about how you went through it, that helped me kind of navigate my way through it. And like, it's just real stuff that we all got to talk about because it's part of the human experience that it happens. So if there's somebody out there right now listening or watching that's going through a divorce, what kind of message do you want to send to them and share that might be going through a similar situation? Even if it's just like as simple as show up for yourself or something.
No, okay. So I think what I realized in my divorce is that I was in the beginning doing myself a disservice by not being honest with how I was feeling. So I think what I would tell anyone going through a divorce right now is that everything that you're feeling is normal. You're experiencing a death of someone who's still alive. So whether you're feeling confused, whether you're feeling angry, whether you're feeling like, for a second, did I make a mistake? Like, everything that you're feeling is normal. You have to feel through it. Don't act on it, but feel through it and cope the way that you feel that you should cope, just as long as you're being safe with yourself and safe with other people around you. If you want to mope for 2 weeks, 2 months straight, I don't know, mope. I don't care. Like, do what you need to do in order to feel through it. Because what happens is, like, as time goes on, you realize you get better. You can cope better. All of a sudden, it's like a year has passed. It's like, damn, I've been divorced for a year. I don't know who the hell that bitch was, but I'm a new bitch. So it's just like, you got to feel through it. You really do have to feel through it. Don't act on it, but feel it. Feel it all and be honest with yourself. Be consistently checking in and self-reflective and like, I was confused yesterday. Today I feel very clear. Tomorrow I might be confused again, but like nonetheless, like growth healing isn't linear. It's all over the place. So you just got to give yourself patience enough to work it through.
Seriously, you got to have grace with yourself too, because
heavy on that.
A lot of people love to look at everyone else's experience with something and draw comparisons to their own. Like, oh, that person's doing okay. Why am I not doing okay? And it's like, everyone's going to navigate through it differently. And like you said, if you got to take time just to like sit around and do nothing, that's okay.
That's okay.
If you actually want to like go out and like, I don't know, hike or something, or like go completely try something new, do it. That's okay. You got to have grace with yourself. You went crazy?
Yeah. Ooh.
What? Okay, this is a big moment right now. This is huge.
That caught me off guard.
That was so...
That was cool.
Crazy. I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now because like I'm kind of like, whoa, that was so neat. And I'm like, wow, you actually did another emote.
I have another one. Finally, it's allowing me to. Okay,
you've unlocked a new one.
I don't even know if you're going to use this, but for those of you who are listening, if you're using a MacBook or an iPhone of any kind, you're on FaceTime or using a video, if you put up a thumbs up, it'll put up a thumbs up emoji. If you put up a heart, it'll do like hearts. And apparently, if you put the rock out sign for both of your hands, it'll do like a disco thing behind you. Yeah, that's kind of cool. But yeah, that's how I coped. I went a little cray cray there for a second. I was rah-rahing all out over the place. I was going out a lot. You know that Drake song, going out and whatever the hell he said, acting brand new or whatever. That's what I was doing. I said, it's time to act a plumb fool. And that's exactly what I did. And it made me feel so much better. I was a little chaotic, but it was great.
Hey, but chaotic energy, though, is like the best.
It's the best.
It's like the way to go.
Does that do anything?
Honestly, yeah. But no, I mean, whenever I broke off my engagement, I kind of went a little crazy, too. I was just like going out and just doing stuff. Just like, oh, I'm going to go try doing this. Oh, I'm going to go to this place. Oh, I'm going to like, I don't know. I just was doing stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's kind of like the fun part is like you get to learn more about you and you get to just enjoy things.
It's really
it's like a new perspective
part. Yeah, because like while that may be like a death to an extent, it's also another form of freedom. Maybe not the best kind of freedom. It doesn't feel great in the beginning, but like something that whether you're the one who got broken up with or whether you're the one who did it, it's like letting go of something that's clearly not working well for you anymore and like moving towards something that is a better fit. And I think that there's some beauty in that. I think the hardest part about adulting is learning to release things that aren't meant for you anymore, whether that's friendships or jobs or and kind of taking on that idea of like, fuck, I have to like start over again. But I think that's the beauty in it. It's still the hardest lesson you have to learn, but nonetheless, like there's beauty in it.
Life's meant to be fun. It's meant to be a journey and like do crazy things. There's a lot, like you could go play kickball or something.
Kickball?
When's the last time you played kickball?
I might have been in
exactly. Exactly. See?
I don't even know if I can run in a straight line. I'm not sure I've ever tried anymore. Like it's been like a decade since I've ran.
See, you could find out.
I don't think I want to find out.
Okay, all right.
Oh, actually, I tried to play pickleball. It was terrible.
Ooh, how did that go?
I just don't. I'm not athletic. I don't have the skills. I have poor depth perception, poor reaction time. There's no mind to body awareness, so I just don't think I'm meant for sports. But I do have a smart ass mouth and a quick wit. So I think I'm meant for like card games and like.
Or you could be like the commentary. You could be
Oh.
like talking about what you see and like
And that's
talking about
exactly what
how
I
the
was
match
doing.
is going.
Is
See?
exactly what I was doing.
Honestly, that's the way to go. Like you just
Right?
got to be talking about
Just
like,
talk
oh,
about
this
it.
person just missed that swing. Oh, they
Yeah.
be messing up.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they're getting a little upset.
It's
Oh,
like, oh, this man thinks he's hot shit. Oh, you just got humbled, sir. You know, maybe we should be commentators of something. I think we do a good job.
should we?
I think
Should
we
it be
do
a
really
sport?
good
What
job at
sport?
I need something that could possibly be funny, like something where people can fall.
Like an obstacle course.
Okay, that. Oh, if we were commentators for like Total Wipeout, that would be fun.
Yo, I would do that. 100%.
Wait, you would be the commentator? Or you just do Total Wipeout?
I'm not trying to get like, have you seen Total Wipeout? And like they be slipping and falling and getting hit. I'm not
So,
trying to do all that.
You want to hear a production secret?
Yeah.
Sometimes I heard that they'll like put baby oil and stuff on like the handles and like on the balls and stuff so people can purposely like slip. It's not meant to be on.
That's called sabotage. And that is not nice. That's mean. How
It's
dare
mean.
that?
That is
That's
mean.
rude. That's
Okay.
so. Wow.
You would have thought you had it.
So you could go in, you could do all this prep work. You could do all this training. You could be like, yeah, I've been training day in, day out. I wake up at 7 a.m. and I do a 16-hour shift of training for Wipeout. And then they can still, it just takes a little bit of baby oil and then you're done.
And you're done. Just get wiped out
That's-
by some baby oil.
That's tragic.
Isn't that tragic?
Production,
I thought so too.
this is coming from somebody that, I do the video stuff. That's evil, but genius at the same time.
You know, you should get into production world. You'd probably be a pretty good
Me?
producer. Yeah, like reality TV production stuff.
Me as a reality TV producer would be such an interesting job.
They don't get paid a lot though, from my understanding. But the cool part about
Oh.
it is like you can seriously travel anywhere, and stay in that city
Okay.
for like whether it's weeks or months. And once you're in, like you could probably have pretty constant income because everyone knows everyone. It's like a small world.
I believe it, honestly.
It's a very small world.
Like it's a if you know who you know
Yeah.
kind of deal.
Yeah.
Maybe we could start a new reality TV show with Wipeout, but it's like called something
Fair.
different, like Slip Up.
Slip up. Slip up.
That's the best I could come up with. Okay, we got time to iron
got
out the
time.
details.
We'll do better with
Pending
that.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll do better.
So before I let you go, what are your current projects? What do you got going on, and what's in store for the future?
You know, I wish I had something cool to say about this. And this is also a part about this is why I'm kind of sad the podcast is ending because it was really cool to be like, oh, actually, I'm a podcaster. I don't have shit. I'm living life like
Oh.
a normal person now. I am
Okay.
going back to work in a few weeks. And that's really all that's going on. I don't have any new projects. I don't even have I have nothing but a new relationship, which is pretty cool. I like that. That's cool. Other than
That's
that,
pretty neat. I mean, it
that's
seems like
neat.
it's going pretty neat.
It's
Yeah.
going very well. We live together. Like it's pretty well. Everyone's like, Iyanna, do you want to return back to normal life? And I'm like, yeah, I do.
It's like, yeah, I
was
think
never
it's
meant to be
time.
on reality TV. It was an accident.
Would you do another reality show if it was like, I don't know, some type of home makeover or
Oh yeah.
some kind
I'd do
of
another one. I do
the
any
is it
reality
cake?
show, just as long as it's not about my love life anymore, or it's like trash-ish TV where it's not like such serious stakes, like getting married in the end. Like Perfect Match. I don't know if you know
Good.
about the new Netflix show Perfect Match. That's very clearly like not real serious stuff. Like it's just like trash
Okay.
TV. So I'd do something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't because I'm in a relationship. But if I were single, I'd do that because it's like whatever. Like
Yeah.
no one's taking this that seriously, and I'm not getting married in the end. I just would never like do
Yeah.
such serious stakes, like getting engaged or married. What the fuck was I
Yeah.
thinking? Why did you let me do that, Dante?
Okay. Whoa. Hold on. What? Whoa, that's my fault? What did I have to do with that? Hold on. What?
Sorry.
I
Why
didn't
did
even
you let me
I didn't even know
do
what the show was
that?
about.
That's insane.
I just watched the show for the first time a couple months ago. That is my bad. I apologize for slipping up.
Yeah.
I really should have been looking out for you and been like, yo,
Yeah.
why would you even want to do that?
Yeah.
But instead, I just didn't even know you existed like that. That's really rude of me. That's my bad.
Rude.
That's my bad. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
I apologize for the inconvenience. Next time I'm gonna do better. Just don't go on any more TV shows like
Maybe
that.
I should just steer clear as a whole. But anyways,
I don't know.
I
Is It
would
Cake
do
does
another
look
one.
fun to be on.
I mean, they are fun. They're definitely a lot. Okay, they're exciting. I wouldn't say fun. Fun isn't the word I would use, but exciting is
Okay.
definitely the word.
It's a new endeavor.
Yes, it is.
It's a exciting endeavor. I'm trying to come up with different ways to say it.
It's also just so unique. I think only like maybe 1% of the population have been on reality TV. It's just such like a small niche. So.
It really is. Like most people don't know somebody like directly that's been on it.
Yeah. But
So it is a pretty unique experience.
Yeah.
That didn't do any emote. That didn't do anything.
It didn't do anything. No. Okay.
Nah, nothing. I thought maybe it would.
Nothing.
This piece something? Now I'm really trying to figure out how that means balloons. But does it double the balloons now? Confetti? What?
I'm too childish for this.
What am I seeing right now?
That is so cool.
Come on. There we go. Okay. Why did it only drop 3 pieces?
I thought I was crazy. I was like, did it just give you like 3 confetti? It said you're good.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yay.
It just gave me like a little. That was it.
It literally said yay.
Yeah, that was the most monotone, lackluster, Walmart level confetti I've ever seen in my life. So you're going back to, quote, normal life.
Yes.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I'll still be sharing some things on social media. Just maybe not as often. I don't know. I really just got to get into the routine of like returning back to work again. I feel like that's going to be a big transition. But once I get back into that, I feel like maybe I'll like return back to social media and be a little bit more present. But you'll see some updates.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, you just gotta enjoy it.
Yeah.
Just be chilling.
Yeah.
Take a step back, do your thing. It's a huge adjustment, I'm sure. So, yeah. For those that want to keep in touch with your occasional social media posts, where can people find you?
On Instagram, on TikTok at Iyanna, IYANNA.amor, AMOR. I'm not just saying that for cultural appropriation. That is literally my middle name.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Bye. Cool. We
Love you,
really
bye.
did an outro like hellas ago.